Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are for the semi-finals of the BUCS Cup squash. Nick, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Oren.
So today, first match we're going to have is Megan Thomas. Who's she playing, Nick? Don't know, no worries. Megan, that's the third string. That's a 1.
Yeah.
Anna Hooper will be next, playing at number 4.
At 4, yes.
And Grace Clark will be on third, playing at number 1 versus Georgia Adderley, the reigning BUCS Cup champion.
BUCS individual champion, yes. And what is this for a place in, Oren?
This is for a place in the BUCS Cup finals. That will be in 2 weeks' time on Big BUCS Wednesday here at David Ross.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle of BUCS sport, BUCS Big Wednesday, in a couple of weeks here. So hopefully both the boys and the girls team will get through. First up, we've got the girls team, and yeah, those were the matches on the glass. We've also got Josie Barker and Ali playing on the backcourt, which isn't going to be streamed, unfortunately, but those should also be some very good matches if you want to come down. Yeah,
lots of support for the green and gold. So earlier on in the season, Nottingham beat Edinburgh, which is who are playing 3 games to 2, a very tight match. Hopefully will be another win for the green and gold today.
Yeah, it should be another close match. It was 3-2 last time, and my pick of the day actually is going to be Josie's match, because last time it was 2-2 in game in the overall match score, and it was her game that she took 3-2 to win the tie. So
was it in a tiebreaker as well, Nick?
I'm not sure, but it could be down to that match once again. So
great. So we've got an interview coming up with someone from Empower to talk about Empower and how important it is and what it means.
Yeah, we said that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the women's semi-final BUCS Cup match. Here with you, as always, is me, Oren, and Nick Harbour by my left.
Pleasure to be with you, Oren. Pleasure to be with you. No, I actually had the pleasure of commentating with you. Last time it was Julian, so...
It can only go up from there, I think, unfortunately for Julian.
It was a low bar, to be fair.
The first match we've got for you today on the glass court, I believe, is Meg Thomas. Nottingham's a home player. Not quite sure who she's playing just yet.
Yep, hopefully should be getting underway shortly. You can see Megan actually just on the right side of the glass court, getting ready for her match.
Cheers. So Megan will be playing Catherine Holland from the University of Edinburgh today.
Last time these two played actually in the group stages, I believe Megan won 3-1. So it should be a good match today.
Yep, no, it wasn't 3-1, it was 3-love.
3-love.
12-10 in the third game though, a very tight match. It'd be lovely to get as much support as we can down for the girls this afternoon. The crowd has been building slowly, but there's plenty more room. More support from green and gold. We've heard American football might be coming down, as well as lacrosse, I think it might have been, or table tennis.
And table tennis.
And table tennis. So hopefully we've got a large crowd coming down today, make the atmosphere really good, try and spur our players on.
Yep, and if anyone is watching, anyone can come down. The tickets are free, so there's the glass court and there's also one of the back courts is being used, so anyone can come down, and yeah, it's good atmosphere.
Yeah, this is going to be this is the headliner for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a cracking match to watch. The match was meant to start at 1:30. 4 minutes ago, but there is some slight delay. We're not quite sure why. Players might still be warming up. Don't want anybody to get injured.
Players look like they're getting ready to go on court very shortly there, so hopefully any minute now should be starting.
Yeah, and if there are any of you tuning in today that haven't watched squash before, it's a fun, quick-paced sport. Some basic rules. You'll see on the screen here there is a line at the top of the court by the side of the glass. If you hit the ball and it bounces above there, that is out of court. You'll lose the point. Equally, there's a line at the bottom just above the green strip on the front wall. If you hit it below that line, it is also out. For a serve, you need to hit the ball between the middle line on your screen just under the University of Nottingham Sport logo and from one back quarter to the other. You're only allowed to let the ball bounce once. If it bounces twice, you also lose the point.
Very well explained, Oren. I just saw our men's captain, Jaden Goff, actually given the microphone, because I believe he is going to be introducing the players. So perhaps that was the reason for the slight delay. And
yeah, they could have been getting microphones ready for him.
So yeah, hopefully we should have Jaden, our men's captain, being the MC, going to introduce the players. So
yeah, Jaden's had a tough time recently. He's been out injured for quite a while with a plantar fasciitis. So it's very noble of him to carry on captaining while he can't play. As you can see, Jaden is on the bottom right corner of your screen, ginger with glasses.
Fun fact about Jaden, his dad is the CEO of PSA, the Professional
Great
Squash
fact.
Association.
Alex Goff, he also got to, I think, world rank number 8 or
I
something.
think I'm going to
that.
say 3.
You're going to say 3?
I think it might be 3. I'm not sure.
Let's
I could be wrong.
Let's get the facts up here for you, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't want to mislead you. Alex Goff played for Wales, and Jaden has also played for Wales in the juniors.
Oh. Got a lot of Welsh players here, actually.
Here we are. Fun fact: Alex Goff got to world ranking number 5.
Oh, I was closer.
You were closer by 1. Yeah, we do have a lot of Welsh players, actually, don't we? Meg Thomas, the first player onto court, she's also played for Wales as a junior, hasn't she, Nick?
She has, yeah. That was a fun fact that she told me. She currently lives in Hampshire at the moment, obviously at uni at Nottingham. So
that was as fun as the facts got from Megan. Unfortunately, maybe she leads a slightly dreary life.
It's possible.
Owen Taylor, the men's number 2, also plays for. Well, he played for Wales as junior and also is in the men's senior team as well.
He did play for the men's senior team in was it New York in America? Washington.
The men's world team
championships.
Yeah.
So played some very high quality squash there. So looking forward to seeing another good match for him. That's much later in the day, the men's match, isn't it?
Yeah. So here we have the scholars in focus today. Grace Clark is the women's first string player. She's a BA Geography student. Top achievements include reaching the top 5 in England junior rankings and representing Yorkshire numerous times at number 1. Next up.
Oh, Jaden's just getting ready to introduce the players, so. Jaden's just introducing the players, so hopefully you can all hear.
A little bit of feedback there.
This is the Edinburgh number 5. Just a bit of technical problems with the music coming on there.
First player for green and gold, Ali Martin, women's number 5.
Unfortunately, Edinburgh's colour also seems to be a dark green, which is very similar to Nottingham's.
Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have to change script, Nottingham being the home team. They also have blue skirts though, so maybe they've got blue tops as well.
Green and blue instead of green and gold, perhaps.
Yeah. You know the famous phrase, blue and green should never be seen, so let's get these girls out of it ASAP.
Megan Thomas, our first match on court, just walking onto court there.
We've just been informed that Edinburgh should hopefully be playing in red, match those jackets that the Georgia and Catriona are wearing.
Jaden did a great job emceeing there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
First time emceeing for Jaden.
Could be a future career.
Absolutely. I'm sure if he has a little word with his dad, head of PSA, he'll get the job in no time. Straight
in. It's all about who you know in the business, isn't it, Nick?
It is.
Meg Thomas on screen, waiting for her opponent. Catherine to get on court. She will be wearing green. That is quite the colour clash. While these girls are warming up, I'll tell you about the other scholars in focus for this this match. The other two are from the men's team, which will be starting at 4 o'clock, I believe. Owen Taylor, as we mentioned, current Welsh senior international player, and he's a player on the PSA World Tour. Current world ranking is 206. Last summer he was selected to represent Great Britain at the World University Championships, where the team won gold. Adam Auckland is the final player. He's the men's first string player. He's a physiotherapy student, highest world ranking of 105, although he has beaten players much higher than that.
He's much better than 105, absolutely.
Last summer he was selected to represent Great Britain as well as Owen at the World University Championships, where the team won gold, as I said.
Quite a lot of more people have filled out in the crowd now, which is good to see.
Yeah, it was looking a bit gloomy about 10-15 minutes ago. Weren't many people in the crowd, but started to fill in. Hopefully they can create a great atmosphere.
The back wall was pretty much full now at this point, so that's a really good sign for the start, and hopefully they'll only get more and more people watching.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. Full crowds, make a good atmosphere, get lots of support behind Meg.
Luckily Meg does have a bright pink racket, just because they are wearing very similar colours. So
yeah, for any of you confused, if you can't read the names on the back of the top that says University of Nottingham or Edinburgh, Meg is with the pink racket.
Meg is on the right with the pink racket. What's the prediction then, Oren? What was, you said it was 3-love last time for Megan.
Yeah, so it was 3-love. In squash you play up to 11 points. You win a point for every single rally. So the match score was 11-3, 11-7 and 12-10 to Meg. You have to win by 2 points, 2 clear points if it gets to 10-all.
It got quite close at the end there, I see.
Yeah, I didn't see the match myself, but maybe that could have been Meg slowing down because she was confident she had the win.
She was comfortable.
Yeah, I think she might have been a bit comfortable.
So you're going for another 3-love win for Meg today?
Yeah, I think I will, especially on the glass court. That's a home advantage. I'm not sure how much Catherine has played on the glass court, but Meg's definitely got good experience on here.
Yeah, the glass court definitely should be an advantage for Nottingham players. But as I've said, a lot of these Scottish players from Edinburgh are actually part of the Scottish national team setup. So they definitely will have played on a glass court before, most of them. But they probably won't obviously have the opportunity to play every day, like Megan and the other Nottingham players.
Yeah, I think at Heriot University they have a court which is the front and back walls glass. So I think the most tricky part about the glass court maybe would be the side walls. The ball sticks to it a little bit more than a normal plaster court. And this court, a little different from other glass courts. The front wall is quite fast.
It is very fast.
Hopefully that can play into our advantage.
Yeah, I've seen this Edinburgh player play a couple of times before. I saw her play last year because we played Edinburgh last year in the final actually, and I believe she lost to Libby, I think, in a fairly close match. So she's a good quality player. But Megan, as you said, she's one of our top scholars. She played for Wales as a junior, so she's a really quality player.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to have to agree with you that she will dispatch her in 3.
In 3. It's lovely to see. So the women's first team actually has undergone quite a big change around. I think the first team lost a significant amount of players from last year, maybe 4 or 5 players.
Yes, Josie was the only player who played last year for the team. He's still in the team.
And we had Hannah Ramadan, who was the BUCS individuals champion as well.
Never lost, I believe.
Never lost in a...
I don't think she's lost a match.
Which is an incredible feat. So it is although we've got a couple of players in, like Megan Grace, who are first-year scholars, who are very good squash players.
Yeah, we did lose a lot of depth in the girls' team, but luckily people like Megan and Grace, like you say, have come really help fill the team out, and we're in just a good chance of winning this year, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully they've got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, they do. I think the other semi-final has Birmingham involved with it, and in the leagues earlier on in the year, I think we beat Birmingham 3-2 and then also lost 4-1. So if we manage to get through this match, it would also be a very good final here. Big BUCS Wednesday in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, Nottingham, Birmingham are 2 of the best unis for squash.
Men's and women's.
Men's and women. Edinburgh have an excellent women's team and always have. They've been in the final, like I say, I think the last couple of years they've played us in the final actually.
And we've beaten them, haven't we?
We have beaten them, yes. And yeah, like you say, Birmingham, who are in the men's semi, also have a very good depth of both men's and women's squash team.
See, Catherine's wearing goggles. That might be because she's a junior still. Juniors have to wear goggles if you're under the age of 19, or maybe it'll be to do with...
Yeah, I believe she probably is still a Scottish junior player. So, yeah, everyone under 19 does have to wear goggles in tournaments and competitive matches. Just so that if the ball was to hit them in the eye, then there won't be any serious damage. So they've been worn up for a while now, so I reckon it should be just about to get underway.
Here we are, they're spinning for the serve. That's the only way you can do it in squash, it's the fairest way. There's a little logo on the bottom of the handle on your racket, and you have to choose which way around you think it'll be.
Unless you got Megan's racket, actually. I don't know if anyone's watching Megan's new racket. She will struggle to spin it with the logo on that for any squash aficionados out there.
And if you love a bit of maths, that's called a rotational symmetry. It's the same way, whichever way it's spun.
Have to do the old rough or smooth then, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, rough or smooth all the way. Mr. Mark Fuller, the women's coach, would absolutely love a bit of rough or smooth.
You can see Megan, you can't see it on the camera, she's just sat behind the back wall sitting next to the head coach Rich O'Connor, getting a bit of advice before the match. Can't see where I think the Edinburgh player's just gone off to the side of the court, couldn't quite see her. I don't know if the Edinburgh coach has actually come down for this. I presume they're probably around somewhere.
Yeah, so Rich O'Connor's been the head coach for the University of Nottingham for quite a few years now. He's actually going to be stepping down and taking a more minor role in the coaching next year. Mark Fuller's going to be the head coach.
Yeah, Rich O'Connor there, he's got years of experience.
Yeah,
Former
he's
top player himself.
used to be 30 in the world quite consistently. South African #1.
South African #1, yeah. He's got lovely technique and a really, really good coach. Coached all the top players before. Any top player you can remember, he will have coached them. Even some you can't remember because he is quite old. What's the score?
Meg's 2-love up now. Score's a bit slow updating, just a little bit of a glitch in the software.
What do you think we're going to see at the beginning of this game, Warren?
It's looking like
Do you think Catherine's going to need a while to get settled on this glass court, like you said?
yeah, I think it normally takes a game or the best part of a game to get settled in, learn how the court plays, adapt to it.
Meg's quite a good long rally there, though.
Yeah, it was. Meg's got off to a good start. She's not holding back. She's attacking right from the off, which is what we like to see. She looks quite relaxed as well, which is always good. You don't play well when you're tense.
Oh, that's a lovely backhand drop shot from Megan there.
Yeah, Catherine's fired in quite a few loose balls to the front here, and Meg's putting her away.
I think we just got a replay there. Just struggling a bit with the replay at the moment, but
there we are. We're back live now.
It is 4-1 to Megan. The graphics should be coming up any minute. That's going to be a stroke, isn't it?
Yep. For you who don't know the rules of squash, if you hit the ball back to yourself in a way that the other person cannot hit the ball because they'll hit you, that's called a stroke. That means you get the point. And also, if you hit a shot that you can't move out of the way of, and your opponent has no access to go and play the ball, that is also a stroke. You win the point. It's a great shot from Catherine there, though, very attacking.
Yeah, going for the drop shot from the back. It's quite a risky shot, but she's executed it well there.
Yeah, you can catch people out from the back of the court quite a lot of the time.
Especially on this glass court, the ball stays, like you said, it's quite fast. So if you fire it in quickly, the ball does die very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great get from Megan.
Yeah, she just clipped that one off the sidewall very nicely. A bit fortunate, but it was a good shot.
Great movement for her there to get to the front of the court so quickly.
Yeah, I didn't think she was getting that one, to be honest.
No, possibly Catherine didn't as well. That's why she was a bit slow on to the next one. Great start from Megan though. It's been quite quick up to a 6-2 lead, which is, she's almost halfway to the game.
She's just over halfway to the game, actually.
She's not really let Catherine in at all here, so...
No, yeah, a good start's very important. You set your stall out, let your opponent know what's happening.
Megan is her first year, but she has recently turned 19, and that is why she is not sporting the goggles like Catherine.
If Catherine had asked for a let there, she would have won the point, because Megan hit the ball right back past herself. It would have been very impossible for Catherine to play that ball. Catherine's got a good run of points here, though. You think she's going to be coming back at Meg?
She has, yeah. She seems to be getting into it a bit more, maybe getting a bit more used to the court conditions and just getting a bit more relaxed. Megan is always fairly relaxed whenever I've seen her. She doesn't get too nervous.
Yeah, Catherine's also started hitting the ball a little bit harder, using that front wall to her advantage and putting Megan on the back foot a little bit.
She has. Megan just lost her length to the back of the court. For anyone new to squash, you'll see they hit a lot to the back of the court predominantly, and that is really the key to squash, is getting good shots to the back of the court to then give you the opportunity to use the front of the court.
Yeah, it's much harder to hit a winner from the back of the court than it is from the front.
6-all now, so Catherine's done well to get back in this.
Yeah, let's hope Meg regain some momentum from earlier on. Meg just stopping that rally, asking for a let. She wasn't sure where Catherine was. She didn't want to hit her.
Absolutely rolled out of the back off the serve. No chance for Megan to return that one. It's just hit the join between the sidewall and the floor called the nick.
It was quite perfect, wasn't it, Nick?
And when the ball hits there, the ball doesn't bounce, so there's nothing you can do. So
yeah, that's always a good shot to aim for.
That's going to be a stroke, isn't it, Warren?
Yeah, aim for the join between the sidewall and the floor. And as Nick said, hopefully the ball will just roll out of it. There's nothing you can do. Very
tight. I'm loving the slow-mo there.
Megan getting a little frustrated here. Catherine's caught her out a few times going to the front of the court.
Well, Catherine's actually, I can't remember what the score was, but she was about 6-2 down, I think, and she's gone all the way through to 9-6 up. So Megan's really not won a point in a very long time.
That's another serve into the nick of the back of the court. She must have been practicing those serves.
I know. It really shows you how the momentum can turn, because Megan looked very good, and she's not won a point in about 8 rallies, I think.
Yeah, it was an 8-point run, but that is a absolute shocker from Catherine. Do you think she'd saw the end of the game?
Well, she's not going to want to watch that one on a replay, but she's given herself still 3 more opportunities to take this first game.
Megan just trying to establish her length at the back of the court, but that was a perfect drive from Catherine. First game to Catherine.
Interesting game there, Warren, actually. It really swung in momentum halfway through, didn't it?
Yeah, it was quite strange, actually. You never normally see that. Sometimes you see a run of maybe 3 or 4 points and then it'll swap and the other player will get a run of 3 or 4 points, but what was that, 8 points in a row in that middle.
I think she was 60 down and she came all the way through to 10-6 up.
Which is very impressive.
Quite a switch, but yeah, Megan just didn't really know what to do once Catherine started to find her targets a bit better and make the rallies a bit more even. Megan really struggled to find her length to the back of the court.
Yeah, I think she was struggling with the pace Catherine was hitting at. She wasn't quite getting behind the ball, getting in a good position to get a good length of her own. What would you recommend Meg does in this next game? What do you think she should do tactically?
I think she just needs to find the back of the court a bit more regularly. I think that's why she struggled in halfway through that game. Just her balls were landing a bit in the middle of the court. They weren't really finding the back wall, and if the ball doesn't find the back wall, then the opponent has so many more options of what they can do, and she was just getting a bit picked off there because her length wasn't quite what it usually is from her.
You could say Catherine's really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons.
She definitely has. None of us predicted Catherine taking the first game. We all thought Megan was going to win 3-love, but we'll see what Megan can do in this game to try and combat what happened in.
It was a lovely tight shot to the back of the court from Meg. I think she just started hitting the ball a little bit harder in that rally. Maybe that's a tactic Rich has tried to get her to implement.
Possibly, yeah. It would help her find the back of the court if she's struggling. The glass court sometimes can make it a bit harder to. You can need to hit it a bit harder on the glass court to get it all the way to the back.
Yeah. But on this court, sometimes when you hit it hard, it really pings and your opponent has much less time to do anything.
Oh, racket just dropped the racket there. Hopefully she's alright. I think I think her hand was just a bit sweaty. So
yeah, holding the racket delicately. You don't want to grip the racket too hard.
No,
I thought that might have been a double bounce, yeah.
Possible double bounce, but it doesn't matter anyway.
Catherine's playing some really inspired squash at the moment. She's trying to volley everything, putting Megan in short, making her move a lot.
She is playing very well. She's really dominating the middle of the court.
Megan just needs to find that length, get on the tee, try and get in front of her opponent so that she can be the aggressor. Catherine must have really been practicing those serves. She almost hit a nick on the back corner serve again.
Well, some days it can just happen, can't it? Or in, you know, certain shot or whatever on the day, you can just keep finding the nick, can't it?
Exactly. That's a great shot from Meg, though.
Score's actually 3-4. It's now correct. Yeah, it was 1 point behind.
It was a little bit better from Meg the last few points. She's found a length to the back of the court. That was a bit of a rash boast, though. Yeah, that bounced twice. She hit the nick of the back of the court again.
Hit the back of the court nick again. That was close to a perfect length, but did actually bounce slightly from the nick. So Megan did have a slight chance to get it back, but
it's almost like Catherine's the home player. Feels like she knows this court by the back of her hand.
6-3 to Catherine this time. Hopefully we can see what happened last time, which was Catherine actually came all the way through from this scoreline. So Megan definitely still with a good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, Catherine's completely scuffed that shot. She'll be disappointed with herself. That was a real good rally winning opportunity.
Should have been put away there, shouldn't it, really?
Yeah.
Didn't need to be. I think she was trying to play it a bit too softly, and the shot really didn't need to be that good.
Megan's brought it back to 5-6. Let's hope she can keep this momentum.
Another slightly poor error there. It was a bit ambitious, really, going from that shot from the back of the court. No really need to go for such a risky shot when the rally's pretty neutral like it was there.
Yeah, and she's hit quite a few of those. I think she hit a few in the first game as well. It looks like she's just trying to slice the ball as much as possible, and she's just mishitting it.
Bit too much cut, perhaps.
That is a great shot from Meg. Great cross-court drop shot. I think that's what she needed. Needs to G herself up a little bit.
Yeah, Megan was enjoying that shot by the looks of it.
Maybe enjoying it, but still a little bit frustrated at herself for
well,
some of the earlier rallies.
Yeah, I think she was annoyed that she hasn't been playing them from the beginning.
Apparently, Ali, our fifth string player, is currently at 1-all over on the glassback courts.
It's a big match for Ali. I believe she won last time in a close 3-1, so that one again is going to be another really tight match. Well, I hate to say that I said it, Oren, but Megan's actually come through from the exact same scoreline to be 10-6 up. So clearly,
you've got the opposite of a commentator's curse, Nick. What you say comes true.
Being 6-2 down is clearly how you should play.
I always aim to go 6-2 down when I play.
Always aim to go 6-2 down.
Yeah, and Catherine's brought it back to 7-10 and
7-10 now.
If all voodoo is working, Meg will win this next point and win 11-7.
Meg just needs to be careful here that she doesn't let Catherine back into this after being in a good position to win the game. She doesn't want to switch off and let Catherine back in a chance of winning this game. Oh, this is a great angle to see the drop shot from. It's a really good rally here from both players. Really using all the court. Great angle to see the play down the backhand there, that front camera. Oh, it's a great rally there. Really long rally, using all the court. See the cross court here, just is a clever whiff. Didn't quite go all the way to the side wall, but just dying away into the side wall.
Yeah, that low hard cross court on this court is quite a dangerous shot.
It is. Oh, and she's just made the error there after such a big rally.
She's made quite a few errors on that backhand volley drop, hasn't she? She's trying to cut it a little bit too much. Just needs to push the ball through. Meg might have been a little bit lucky to escape that. Catherine was coming back at her.
It is absolutely criminal to be missing a volley like that when she's worked so hard to get back in the game. A couple of, rallies that were probably just over a minute long, putting some really hard work in, to then get the opportunity and just fluff it like that. I think her coach is not going to be happy with that. 1-1 though now, so it's all back to square one really. Again, another bit of a mirror of the last game really, wasn't it? Quite strange momentum shift. Megan looked a bit out of it at the beginning, but then suddenly she just found her targets a bit better, helped by a few errors from Catherine. She just found her length and then she started putting the ball away.
Catherine did manage to win a couple points right before the end of that game. They'll try and get a little bit of momentum to follow through into this game. Let's hope Megan can stamp that out and put her authority.
Yeah, she put some really good rallies in actually when she went down. She put a couple of rallies in that were really long, and she was, I think perhaps obviously being game ball down, she probably was being a bit more conservative and not wanting to risk the shots. And I think it actually helped her. She was playing much better, like using all the court and really making the rallies much longer and waiting for the right opportunity instead of, at the moment she's going first opportunity she gets, she's going for it. And we saw in that game how sometimes if you're making the errors, it can be a bit costly.
Yeah, I think Catherine really needs to try and implement a more hard-hitting kind of style, more to the back of the court, because she's making errors to the front. Whereas Meg doesn't like to play as a high pace, so she needs to try and slow it down a little bit and then use her racket skills and chop the ball in around the front of the court, make Catherine do some work.
Yeah. Oh, that is a great drop shot from Megan. That's what she needs. You see, the serve was good quality to the back of the court, and then it gives you the opportunity in the middle of the court and just put it away.
And that's how Catherine was winning quite a few points earlier. Might have been a bit fortunate with her hitting the nick, but she was putting Meg under pressure right from the serve, and Meg wasn't finding a way to get out of that.
Meg using good height there to make sure the ball goes all the way to the back of the court. Something that Rich O'Connor, the coach, is always big on. Using all the front wall to get the ball to the back of the court. And it's something that a lot of players don't use enough.
I think that's because it's harder to play high without hitting the ball out. Easier just to hit hard and lower. You need to respect the lob though. That's what I've heard a lot around these courts. You need to respect that lob, play nice and high, put your opponent under pressure. There's a lovely tight drop shot. That's what Meg's been doing well.
That's a great camera there. Sorry to cut you off, Warren, but I'm loving the camera from the front backhand corner. You really get to see what the players are doing there.
That's about a mirror of the last point. Meg's just put that exact same drop shot into the front of the court, and Catherine can't do anything with it.
It's a great line to the back of the court.
It was a beautiful line. She kept the ball nice and tight to the side wall. It hit the nick right at the back of the service box.
Just died right in the back of the court, giving Megan really no chance to get that one back.
Yeah, Meg needs to keep the ball away from the middle of the court, because otherwise Catherine will be doing lots of that, I think.
Oh, that's a great drop shot from Megan there, though.
You could see from that lovely camera angle, she took that quite far out in front of her.
Took it really far out in front. And Catherine was still quite far back in the court.
Yeah, she took time away from Catherine, made her rush, and she couldn't even get that shot back.
Catherine seems to be trying to use the boast a lot, where Megan just hit one there where the ball hits the sidewall first. She's clearly trying to move Megan into the front of the court with it, but if it's a bit high like last time, you'll see Megan will be onto it straight away and able to put the straight drop in. So it's a risky strategy.
Yeah, I think Catherine really does need to try and keep Meg away from the front of the court, because Megan's more skilled with the racket.
Oh, that is a great cross-court drop from the back.
Yeah, Catherine wasn't expecting that one. She was half moving over to the right side of the court.
Yeah, you just see her there. Her whole body is trying to go to the right side, and she has to really shift her whole body weight and try and get the ball. And
change of direction's the hardest thing. The hardest thing in squash.
Yeah.
Straight lines are normally okay for everybody, but as soon as you make them stop and change direction, they find it really hard.
Oh, she's really dominating now, Megan.
Yeah, that's a great rally from Megan there. Pushed her to the front, slapped her to the back. News coming in from the other court. Ali is now 2-1 up at the 5th string. So sorry, 2-1 down.
2-1 down in the fight, so that could be a very big match.
Yeah, might be going to 5 sets. That's a beautiful boast from Megan. Boast is when you hit
Really
the side wall before the front wall.
Yeah, see, that's how you need to play it there. Really nice and low, hard, really firing it in. Whereas Catherine's tried it a couple of times and it's just been a bit closer to the service line, and then just gives your opponent too many opportunities.
That was a bad error from Megan though. That was quite far down below the top of the tim.
Just seeing a few more people walk past to come and watch, so I think the crowd's going to start to really fill up, hopefully.
That's another error from the backhand volley drop from Catherine. She really doesn't like that shot. If I was Megan, I'd keep on putting her there. That was a good wrong footing boast. Megan could have hit that ball anywhere. She had a nice high backswing. Catherine had to cover the back of the court in case Megan hit hard to the back. Megan's really found her range in this third game. She's dominating the rallies, putting Catherine under a lot of pressure, and Catherine doesn't really have an answer at the moment.
Oh, I thought that might. I'm not sure about that. The refs called that as a double bounce. It's very close. It's very difficult to tell from here.
Yeah, it could have just been a bit of a frame shot. Comes off the racket a little bit funny compared to what you used to.
Not much argument for Megan though, although she's not the sort of player to argue with the ref very much.
No, there's nothing you can do about it. You're not really going to change the ref's mind.
Oh, she's actually hit the ball at her.
That was fortunate from Megan. She hit the ball right down the middle, a loose one, but Catherine couldn't adjust and move her feet out of the way to hit a winning shot.
Yes.
2-1 to Megan.
She just wasn't expecting it there, was she? After all the good shots Megan has hit, it's actually probably one of the worst shots that she's hit to take the game.
Sometimes the worst shots are actually the best ones in squash. If you're not expecting one to come into the middle, it's hard to adapt. And
well, no, Catherine definitely wasn't expecting it. She was expecting another nice one down the line like Megan had been playing, but it's worked out well for Megan in the end and taken a crucial third game to the 2-1 lead.
I would say very crucial, and it was 11-4, was it 11-5?
It was quite comfortable.
Relatively convincing, so Megan's definitely got a good amount of momentum. She'll be looking forward to finishing this one off in 4 games.
Yeah, I think it's going to take quite a lot from Catherine, really. I'm not really sure. After the last 2 games, Megan's clearly found that her shot's much more comfortable. I'm not really sure what Catherine can do to combat the shots that Megan's got here. But we'll see what tactics she tries to employ in this game. But it's going to have to be quite different from what we've seen previously.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that she can do it.
You can expect her to come out of the gates with something different, a bit re-energized, because she knows that if she doesn't win this game, that's the match gone. So yeah, she's definitely going to come out like a bat out of hell.
Try and go for a few more risky shots.
Yeah, try and up the pace a little bit, hit hard.
Try and go for a few more winners, but then if they go well, she could race to a few quick points. But if they go badly, she could find herself 5-love down or something quite quickly in the crucial game.
Mm-hmm. And that was another lovely serve from Megan there, implementing what we're talking about. That a good serve really puts your opponent under pressure. That was a lovely boast from Megan, but Catherine got it, just a bit of a frame. She might have hit the sidewall before she hit the ball.
Yeah, I think she just got a racket under it. Wasn't a double bounce. I didn't. At first looking, it didn't look.
That's a bit of a shocker from Meg. She needs to keep keep focused. She's thinking about that last rally too much.
By the last rally, yes. Not sure Megan will want to see that replay, but
Megan has quite a nice swing. She gets a lot of shoulder rotation into the ball. She hits through the ball very well.
Oh, that is a lovely killer one, isn't it?
It is a lovely kill. Like, just
great
as
power.
I was saying, great power, got a shoulder into the ball, bit of rotation.
Great power. It's bounced twice, you know, in a couple of hundredths of seconds, you know. Can't react to it, can you?
Cannot react to that.
That's a poor error there from the front, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Catherine's feeling the pressure.
Can't afford to be making an error like that when you've got a whole court, whole frontal to play on.
And those are the kind of opportunities that she was really taking advantage of in the second game.
Yeah,
in the first game, sorry.
That is quite ambitious to go for a volley off
such a tight ball.
Such a tight drive, yeah. I think most people would usually let that one out of the back corner and bounce, and the ball can sometimes become a bit looser as it bounces off the back wall.
Yeah, she might be feeling a little bit tired. Didn't want to move her feet. Thought she could just clip it off the side wall, but it was too good of a shot. That's a great shot from Megan. Putting away a half-court ball.
Yeah, she's very. Megan is very lethal. Definitely a strength area is that mid-court, as you've seen from today. That when that ball is bouncing around the two service boxes, she just slots it in short. She slots it in short every time, and you know, Catherine, you know, well, no one would.
That's a great kill. We just heard that Ali, women's fifth string, has just gone into a fifth game.
Bit of a huge match there on court 5 or 6 by the sounds of it.
Yeah, given that she won last time, she'll definitely be looking to take this one in the fifth.
It's all unravelling over here a bit quickly for Catherine in this fourth game. It's looking like Megan. Well, I say that it looks like Megan's going to take it quite comfortably, but
as we saw in the first game, you never do know, do you?
No, we don't know.
Catherine had a bit of a purple patch in the end of that first game, but since then she's not been replicating the same kind of squash.
No, she's played a couple of good rallies here though. Could be a final push, you know, obviously, even if she is feeling a bit tired or, you know, physically and mentally, it's, you know.
Yeah, as soon as you go down by 5 or 6 points, you kind
really
of take the pressure comes off you. You just let your racket fly, and you end up playing a little bit better.
This really is the last chance. If Megan gets, you know, another 2-3 point run, then it really will be over.
There's a good length from Catherine though. Megan a bit slow into the back. Maybe she thought it was going to bounce off the back wall.
Yeah, but this, as you said, this glass court, the side walls can really take the pace off it quite a lot. So if you just clip the side wall, it can really take the pace off, which can help you out like there.
Yeah, that was a great drop shot from Meg, bouncing in the neck. She didn't go too low on the front wall, didn't want to take any chances from hitting it down, but
you don't need to go low on the front wall. You want to be aiming for that side wall, really.
Oh, that's a beautiful line, isn't it, Nick?
Beautiful lines. She's definitely been having some sessions with Mark, hitting those lines.
Drop drive all day long.
Absolutely.
You can see some of the boys in the front two rows in their squash ties, wearing the blue shirt squash tie, looking very smart.
Very smart. Yeah, it's very good. You know, looks very smart. Has that just gone up?
I think it might have done. It was a fluky shot. wasn't quite clean off the middle of the racket.
She's definitely hit a bit of frame there, but it stayed very short.
Yeah, that's what Megan needs to do. Hit hard. Yeah, that's the way to play this court. Hit hard.
Exactly. The court's so fast, and with her power, she can just smash the ball to the back of the court like that. And
that first one set it up, didn't it? Low, hard cross court.
Looking like Megan's going to take this now. Hopefully she can take it first time and not let Catherine back into this in any way.
Yeah, I'd put my house on Megan finishing this match off with this game.
That's
lovely shot.
Great power drive there from Megan. Kept the ball really low. And just like you said, same thing on the forehand this time. slow power drive, and with the speed of this court, the ball's going to bounce twice.
It's a lovely way to finish the match. 3-1 for Nottingham.
For Nottingham. So that was the first match to Nottingham. That was the 3rd string, I believe.
Yeah.
The 5th string is also on one of the back courts.
And it's at 2-2.
It was at 2-2 last time we heard, so
hopefully that will also be a win for University of Nottingham. Megan avoided that little scare at the end of the first game, but managed to compose herself and take the rest.
Yeah, she did well there, because she seemed a bit rattled, Megan, at the beginning of that match, but she really found her way back into it very well after in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th game, and she didn't look like she was in any danger of losing it after that slight drop in concentration in the first game, really.
Yeah, exactly. She the second was a bit close, 11-9, but then she won 11-4 and 11-6.
So welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Alex from Empower. So can you just tell us a bit about what Empower is?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. Empower is basically an initiative that helps female students to keep fit while also educating themselves on a healthy lifestyle. So we have workshops which focus on sleep and stress, mindfulness, as well as the classes of actually keeping fit. And it just makes a really nice community where you can learn all these things.
Okay, that's really interesting. So why do you think Empower is important?
So I think it's really important because it just gives a space, a safe space to try new things in a relaxed environment. There's no pressure, Everyone's really, really nice, so you kind of go along and there's no pressure to do anything. But also it's about educating yourself and keeping fit and being healthy mentally and physically. So we've got a partnership with Shreddy, and they're kind of got the same philosophy that we've got, so it really works well. And they're really supporting our like Girls' Night In and the Empower initiative, and they've got loads of bands in the gym, which is really, really cool. So everyone should go check them out.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, if people want to find out more about this, how can they find out more about this?
So you can go to the Engage page on the sports website, or there's an Empower Facebook group which you can ask to join. You'll be approved, and there's all sorts of information on that, but the timetable is on the University of Nottingham Sport Engage website.
Okay, so people can go and check that out if they want to find out more.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, that's great, thanks.
Cool, thank you.
We can just see Anna and then Katie warming up for the next match.
So we've got a change of commentator. Nick's going to take a break, and Sam Gibbon is going to be joining me in the commentary booth. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hello. I'm good, thank you.
You've just been watching Ali over on the other court. How's that going?
Yeah, just arrived from court 6. Unfortunately, she's just lost 12-10 in the 5th game.
Oh, that's absolutely brutal.
Absolutely massive. She had 2 match balls at 10-8, which was saved by the Edinburgh player.
Oh, did she? That's gutting.
She's gone down 12-10 in the 5th. A really tight, hard-fought match. Some really top-quality squash, but unfortunately we couldn't take away the win there today.
That really is a shame, but she clearly fought a good fight, never gave up, all the way to a tiebreaker in the 5th game.
Absolutely, it was tight the whole way through.
So on court, we've got the women's 4th seeds. Anna Hooper from Nottingham on the right-hand side of the court versus Katie Gregson-MacLeod of Edinburgh on the left side of the court. Anna's got more experience on the glass court than Katie, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. And has also been improving quite a lot over the academic year, hasn't she, Sam?
She has, absolutely. She's been making real strides in her squash since starting at university. This is her first year this year, and played with her a couple of times, training, things like that, and she's really been coming on.
As we mentioned before, the women's team comprises of 4 first years, 4 freshers, which is exciting for the next couple of years to come, but it's also they've got a good hard test in their first year of university squash.
They do. It's a real big change from last year, isn't it? We lost a lot of our women's team. The number 2, Josie Barker, she was playing down at number 5 last year for the girls.
Fun fact about Josie Barker, who will be on the other hard court
anytime
now. She is the nicest person on the squash committee.
Well, that is self-proclaimed, I believe, but
I think I would agree with that one.
Okay with that. No offence to any other squash committee members, obviously.
You're just horrible, aren't you? There's no redeeming qualities from any of you apart from Josie.
Big shout out to the squash club committee.
So Sam, I think you've seen Anna play a little bit more than I have. What do you think her strengths are?
Well, she strikes the ball very cleanly, especially in the girls' game. You don't get too many hard hitters. I think Anna hits a really clean ball, so she can put some of the other girls under quite a lot of pressure with just her power hitting, the pace that she can put on the ball. So
a bit similar to Meg. She's good racket skill. She's gonna look to put their opponents under pressure and then finish the ball to the front of the court.
Yeah, for sure. I think the big test for her here on the more severe glass court is going to be her movement. So we need to wait and see what kind of shots Katie MacLeod can produce, and see if Anna can cope with them movement-wise.
Yeah. So as we said before, the front wall is quite fast for a glass court, but glass courts in general are a bit more dead than traditional courts. The ball doesn't bounce up quite as much, and the sidewalls take a little bit of pace out of the ball a little bit more. So you've really got to move into those corners a little bit more, extra half step, and that adds up over the match.
It does, really eats away at the legs. Hopefully the girls have been putting in some big sessions.
Oh yeah, I see Anna down at strength and conditioning. She's really putting in a good shift there.
Loves the weights.
She's an absolute animal. I've seen her squatting at least 2 plates.
Huge. What size plates?
I'll leave that to you guys to decide.
Warm up going on here today. They've definitely had their 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got students are marking this one, so they're a bit more lax with how long you get to warm up.
Who is marking today? Who have we got? No one, which is probably the issue.
That would be the issue with why they're warming up for quite a while. I would have thought Meg Thomas would be marking, given that she's just finished playing, but you never know, she might be having a drinks break.
She might be, that makes sense.
We're just about to go to an advert, so we'll tune back in with you in a moment.
I'm getting involved in Men's Health Active because I think that taking part in sports gives you a natural high and it's good for your mental well-being.
I'm getting involved in Men's Health Active because it's a fun way to keep fit and get to know people.
I'm getting involved in Men's Health Active for stress relief and to be part of the wider community.
I'm a part of Men's Health Active because it's a good way to maintain my mental health and it's a good way to meet new people.
I'm getting involved with Men's Health Active because after a long day at uni I like to de-stress and meet new people and make new friends.
I'm getting involved in the Men's Health Active programme, supporting the health and well-being of our male students. I'll be leading on the Headstrong programme, which will be doing weightlifting exercises in the high performance zone.
I'm getting involved with Men's Health Active because I want to get out of the library, I want to get a de-stress on, get a blow on and have a little bit of laugh with a few new people.
I want to be a part of Men's Health Active because I want to inspire people to help themselves.
I think you should get involved in Men's Health Active for all the reasons just mentioned. It's a really fantastic way to look after your general health and well-being.
Just seen a video for Men's Health Active, which is a new initiative which has been designed to encourage male students to use sport and physical activity to help them maintain good levels of mental health. Really important. Really important. Currently, there's a big push for mental health awareness and mental well-being across the world. Really. Later on, we'll be having a chat with Harry, who's an ambassador for Men's Health Active.
Sounds good. Anna with a point on the board now.
Always good to get your first point on the board. Eases the nerves a little bit.
Exactly. I was talking to her a little bit while she was warming up, watching Ali's match over on court 6, and she was saying she really is quite nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's the headliner. There's lots of people in the crowd. She's probably not used to it.
No. It can be quite daunting as well, the You can see on the stream there, even the side walls are filling up now. A lot of spectators on the back wall. If you're not used to that environment, it can be quite intimidating.
And the Nottingham ultras can be quite fierce. Spectators. So
they can, but that is a wicked boast. No nerves shown in that shot whatsoever.
Absolute gut ripper.
Look at that.
Katie might have just lost the spleen.
Hopefully we've got some top medics on hand.
Well, Adam Auckland, the men's first string player, is a physio, so if anything does happen, I'm sure he'll be on hand to help out with any injuries.
He's the only player I haven't seen so far. I think he might possibly be on placement today.
Yep, works quite hard, 9 to 5 every day. That's what you got to do if you want to get that degree.
Exactly.
Anna's just made a few unforced errors. Seems like the pressure of the occasion might be getting to her a little bit.
Yeah, this first game's just running away from her a little bit here. As you say, she hasn't. Oh, that is beautiful.
That is a wicked drop shot. I'm sure that will help settle her a bit more. Remind herself that she can play absolutely beautiful squash.
Exactly. She just needs to settle into the occasion, I think, in the second game.
Oh, and that's another beautiful drop shot.
Spoke too soon. In the second half of the first game, we might see a little bit of an improvement.
There's a good width to the back of the court, forcing that opening, and that's a beautiful length.
Yeah, look at that. She's really stepping up the court now, using that power hitting to keep her opponent pinned in the back corners.
Exactly. Looks like Katie likes to give the ball a good old whack too, so that just means that Anna has to find her targets, not leave the ball in the middle of the court, otherwise Katie will be looking to smash that ball very hard.
Oh, just like that.
That was a wicked
naughty kill from behind the service box. Fast and furious this first game. We've already rattled off 15 points, 16 points.
No, these girls definitely aren't holding back.
They're not. Fearless squash, as promoted by head coach Rich O'Connor.
He loves it when we're fearless. A lovely drive to the back of the court from Anna, 8-9.
Yeah, she's brought it back. It's really tightening up at the back end of this first game. The business end, that's a high drop, punished. Oh dear. That could be a stroke.
Yep, and that is a stroke to the University of Edinburgh. As I was trying to explain earlier, if you hit a ball back to yourself and you can't clear out the way, so the opponent has no opportunity to hit the ball, that is a stroke.
I think a lap may have been given. We could have been wrong there. I think they played a lap ball.
I thought we heard stroke, but they must have changed their mind.
So did I, but...
Ooh, that is a bad error from Anna. She had a winning opportunity right there at the front of the court.
One game ball for Edinburgh. Oh, what's going on?
Oh no, they must have given a stroke in the end. They just called the score wrong.
Oh, I see.
So that is a game 1 to University of Edinburgh. Taking the first game again in this tie. Hopefully Anna will bounce back just like Megan did earlier.
Let's hope so. Weird way to end that one. I was all hyped for Anna to save a big game ball.
So was I. I think she was too until she realised the game was over.
Yeah.
I think at some point we'll try and get one of the coaches up to have a little bit of a chat. Not right now, obviously, because they're focusing on helping the players, but we'll be able to get an insight from them, see how they're feeling, how they think the matches will go.
Yeah, I think Josie Barker, number 2 string, if she's not on court already, should be on very soon. Mark Fuller's over there coaching the girls on the traditional courts. Rich in charge of the glass.
Yeah, Mark is the women's team second and third coach. I think he does a bit of the first team as well. Rich is also the first team coach for the men's and women, so they both know these girls very well, know what to do.
They do. Any news from the boys' fourths and girls' thirds playing in the Conference Cup? They're over at UEA with Lewis Walters today.
Yeah, in Norwich. I've not heard anything yet, but we'll be waiting for further info. Both teams have got a good chance.
They do. Ooh, I think that's going to be a no-let. It's a bit short. Well, they've played a let ball there.
I guess that's the advantage of the home marking, but that was a very, very short drop shot. Do you think she should have got that?
I'm not sure. It caught a little bit of side wall, didn't it? Which was unintentional, but actually probably played Hannah's favour.
And that front camera angle really showed us how short that ball landed.
The TV crew have really stepped up their game recently with all these new angles, replays.
Yeah, it's very
impressive.
Very professional. We'd love to see some more of this at future matches. And I think we'll be getting the same treatment in 2 weeks' time at Big BUCS Wednesday.
Love to see it.
There's another great boast from Anna, pushing Katie into that front left corner and then volleying her to the back right, making her do the diagonal.
She opened the court up so well. Look at all that space she's got to hit into there. Beautifully constructed.
Katie was not up to the task of the full court sprint.
And there's the power I was talking about in the knock-up.
Yeah, exactly. Low hard drives, really effective on this court. No one's picking that up.
No one. A little bit too high there.
Oh, that was a lovely kill. Thought she was going to have an absolute carbon copy of the rally before.
So did I.
Boast and then length to the back.
Okay. 4-3. The rallies again fast and furious in this second game.
Yeah, these girls aren't hanging around. News in from the men's fourth team over at UEA. They lost 2-1, or 3-1, I guess it should be, and the girls lost 3-0 as well. It's unfortunate, but good effort, lads and lasses.
Anna finishing that rally off well there.
I'd love to know what the score is on court 6 with Josie.
I would do. Maybe we'll have to find that out. Send one of our boys over there.
We do have an extensive team of match reporters here at the University of Nottingham.
We do indeed.
It's unfortunate from Anna. That was a loose ball from Katie. She was lucky to get away with it.
She was, and it's levelled her back up at 6-all here. Shaping up to be another tight game.
A lovely power drive, low and tight to the wall. Anna's really been hitting those very nicely so far.
She does. So Anna has a very similar game to our Egyptian #1 from last year, Hannah Ramadan, who's currently over in Egypt playing the black ball women's platinum event.
Yeah, Hannah did really well. She won the first round match 3-2, which she wasn't seeded to win, and again in the second round match she wasn't seeded to win, but she lost 3-2, 12-10 in the fifth. So tight, unlucky Hannah. We were rooting for you all the way.
Another ex-University of Nottingham player, Colleen Omar, also over playing in black ball.
Yep, she's just made it through to the quarterfinals, which I think must be the first time she's made it to the quarters of a platinum event.
It is her first time.
Absolutely great result earlier against Farida Mohammed, winning 3-0.
That's a big win for her. Huge points getting to the last stage.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's a lovely drive here in Nottingham from Anna Hooper. That's a bit of a high boast. Yeah, well finished off from Katie. Nice drop shot put in. Really punishing that loose boast from Anna.
Yeah. Not a lot you can do when you set your opponent up like that.
Oh, and that was a lovely boast from Katie.
Another fantastic boast.
2 games to love. Anna needs to change something here. It's not looking like she's going to take this next game.
The games are tight, but she doesn't really look like she's troubling Katie too much. She seems pretty comfortable and confident on the court.
She plays the odd rally to perfection, and then the rest of them seem to be a bit loose, a bit hit and miss, not putting Katie under pressure.
She's just making a few too many errors, I think. You know, 4 or 5 tins a game. That's a huge number of points. That's half of Katie's points nearly.
And unfortunately, they're coming from loose shots from Katie almost, just ones Anna's not expecting.
Yeah, she's in a good position and she's just not finishing the ball. Hopefully that's what the coaches are going to be saying to her in between this game, and she can pull it back and fight hard. we really need this game.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be going two matches to 1 down if and then taking it into the last 2 matches. We'll need to win.
Absolutely not. Still no news from Josie's court.
Still no news from Josie's court. I might have a run around to report back.
Alright, we've sent Oren Imler, the errand boy, off to court 6. He's back. That was speedy. Very speedy. How's she faring, Oren?
Oh, that was a long 20-metre run. I'm not used to such things. Apparently they've not even started over on court 6. They're still warming up.
Started. It's got to be one of the longest warm-ups. Air shot there.
Lovely air shot. Maybe she likes to play a little bit of air guitar too.
She must do.
That's good stuff from Anna, nice and attacking.
She started this 3rd game with a lot of purpose.
Hopefully she continues in the same way. Because when she does this, she's really putting Kate under pressure and winning points.
She does. Oh, I think the referees have been given a microphone. Just heard Meg Thomas's voice coming through loud and clear. Oh, well, loud and unclear. It was a bit muffled, but. That ball.
Yeah, Jaden was having a little bit of a problem with some feedback when he was trying to introduce the players, so there must be something going wrong.
He was. Georgia Adderley, you can hear there, really rooting for her compatriot.
Well, she's a fierce competitor on the court, and I'm sure she.
Arguably more fierce off the court, I'd say.
I've not had the pleasure of conversing with her, but I'll take your word for it, Sam.
She is just as fierce. I now have no idea what the score is because Meg Thomas cannot speak through the microphone. I think it might be 4-3.
Ooh, that was a bad error from Anna. That was a winning opportunity.
The errors are just creeping back in.
I think if Anna keeps those errors down, she should win the match, but as I've said that, she should hit another tin.
Might be 5-3 now.
That's well played from Katie. She could have stopped for a stroke there. Ooh, that was tight. Let's have a replay of that. Looked like it might have just clipped out of court. That's unfortunate.
It is 6-3. It's a good boast from Anna there. That's down. Oh, 5-6.
Great boast.
Closer than we thought.
Closer than we thought. Anna's still in it. Fighting hard.
So. 1 point is, it's not that much of a deficit. She can make this back comfortably.
And the way these girls are going, 1 point goes just like that.
Absolutely. Some real all or nothing squash. Oh, she's caught the sidewall front wall join there.
That is rather fortunate.
The ball's sprayed out loose, but it's taken all the pace from the ball. It's stayed a bit short.
That's what Katie was doing in the earlier games. Maybe not hitting that join, but she was hitting luckily low and in the middle of the court, and Anna didn't know what to do.
Anna building up a 2-point lead here in the business end of the 3rd game.
Yep, good serve close to the wall. Katie couldn't do much apart from hit it out of court. There's a good power line. You can hear Georgia really trying to G up her player.
Back to within 1 point, Katie. It's loose.
Yeah, Anna needs to keep that ball away from the middle of court, but she got away with it there. Loose shot from Katie herself.
9-7. We really would need Anna to close this game out.
We really do.
A stroke to Anna there.
What do you think about that decision, Sam?
I think personally, I'd have probably given her that ball, a little bit of room to play. But
A little bit of room to play. It was a low shot, maybe Anna wasn't quite ready to hit it, but
stroke to Anna to finish there.
that was maybe a little bit of a fortunate end to the game there, but I think Anna needed it.
It was fortunate bit of marking for us to take the third game. I think, to be honest, that last point probably was a stroke.
Yeah, I do agree.
She just took the wrong line to the ball.
Yeah.
She'd manoeuvred herself in front of her opponent
Got
and
a
was then
racket
through
caught.
to play.
Yeah.
If she'd have taken a more direct line into the back of her opponent, it would have been a much more clear-cut stroke for the markers to award.
Exactly.
A little bit of gamesmanship for Anna to work on there, maybe.
Anna's she's thrown the sand amongst the pyramids, hasn't she?
She has indeed. So, Anna clawing a game back there.
2 games to 1. Let's hope she can repeat some of the same squash and take it into a 5th. Anna straight back onto court, didn't need much rest. Hoping that short amount of time she got some good tactical advice from the coaches.
Yeah, Rich's advice, short and to the point, just like these squash rallies.
Exactly. You don't want to have too much to focus on. You just need a few simple things to keep in your mind. You can't be thinking about too much.
Absolutely. Well, Anna just cut a few of the errors out there, and she won 11-7, a much bigger margin than Katie's been winning in the first 2 games.
Yeah, exactly. It does seem to be a tale of errors, even though they've been hitting a lot of good winners too.
Exactly. I think the tin is going to be the deciding factor in this match, and we really needed to keep it out of it for 2 more games. Here we go.
I think Anna's serve's been letting her down a little bit. It's been a bit loose, bouncing high off the back wall and coming into the middle of the court, so Katie can play those power drives she likes to hit.
Yeah, she's just overhitting them a little bit, isn't she? It's coming off the back wall, and she's finding herself in a really tricky position to defend.
It's another slightly loose serve. Maybe she should think about switching it up and going to a forehand serve from that right side.
Maybe. It allows you to just get serving from the forehand instead of the backhand. It gives you a bit more of a wider angle on the front wall. Easier to hit that side wall, which is what you were looking for in a serve.
Katie's just opened up a little lead here at the beginning of this 4th game.
Ooh.
Anna's hit quite a few of those close to the front wall, just right in the bottom of the tin. It's really not what you need. It's one of the easiest shots in the game.
Shit to do is just lift it up gently onto the front wall. Oh dear.
And another, like you were saying, she keeps it out of the tin. She's doing well, but those last couple of points.
It's unfortunate here. She's getting herself in some really good positions, playing some good working squash like that shot there, and those are the finishes that we need. She just has to put that ball away. But right now she's not doing it.
Perhaps she's feeling a bit of pressure from Katie's lovely power lines to the back, or maybe pressure from the occasion. It is quite a big match after all.
I think so. It's really in her mind now that if she loses this game, she's lost the match, and I think it's just playing on her mind a little bit. It's running away from her here, though.
Katie's been hitting some good stuff in this game, though. She's really put the pressure on Anna. See, Anna didn't want to go for the drop shot there. She just kept it simple, put her straight to the back, hit a lovely drive.
Yeah, maybe that's what she should have been doing all along, getting onto that ball early, and then if she's making a lot of errors taking it in short, just start using her power and hitting it. It might take an extra shot to win the rally, but if you can work your opponent, if you're keeping it out of the tin.
Yes, indeed, that's good advice, Sam. Now there's a good hold from Katie. She got on it early. Let Anna run into the front corner before pushing it into the back.
Good hold.
It's good length from Anna. 3-10 though, you'd think it's probably out of her grasp by now, wouldn't you, Sam?
I think so. 6 match balls to save for Anna here. It's a big ask, but she's still in it. Oh, that's a ridiculous
That was
finish.
a lovely both to finish the match off. So the Nottingham Women's first team going down 2 matches to 1 already. That's really putting the pressure on Josie and Grace to finish it off.
Josie's 1 down.
Josie's 1-0 down as well. She's the women's present though. She'll be fighting till the very last point.
Tooth and nail.
I'll be handing over to a different commentator, Will Gibbon. So I'll see you guys later.
the University of Nottingham Sports Injury Clinic. We offer hydrotherapy, physiotherapy and sports massage to all members of the general public and to students here at the university.
We have a state-of-the-art facility with 5 private consultation rooms. We have an open rehab space where we can cater to the individual as well as group rehab sessions, and besides that we have a hydrotherapy pool as well as a plunge pool where we can cater to the individual or cater to groups or teams.
Typically getting people with all sorts of injury, mostly consisting of musculoskeletal injuries. That tends to be either through sport or through just general demands of daily living.
The hydrotherapy pool is a warm pool where we can do individual rehab as well as group rehab sessions. The water is warm and therefore moving in water will make any pains, it makes moving easier than it would be on land. The plunge pool is a cold pool that we have next to the hydrotherapy pool. It's currently around set about 10 degrees. We use that predominantly with our sports teams as a recovery, so they go in after they've had a match or a hard week of training. Whether you have a small niggle or a long-term injury or a chronic injury, we have a specialist team of qualified staff as well as trainees in clinic that will be able to help you on your journey, whether that is back to professional sport, back to work or back to day-to-day life. We are here to help you.
Welcome back here. Girls' first string match about to kick off on the old West Court. Got Grace Clark from the University of Nottingham playing Georgia Adderley from the University of Edinburgh. Joining me for this one is my brother, Will Gibbon.
Hello, nice to be here.
Good to have you, Will.
Yeah, big match for Nottingham this one. Notts having already lost 2 so far. Relying on Grace to win, also Josie Barker down on the plaster courts. I believe 1 game to live down at the moment. Could do with her pulling back as well.
1 game to live down. Everyone at home, if you want to get involved with the show, on Twitter, use the hashtag Road to Nottingham to show your support for Josie and Grace today. So it's going to be a pretty tough ask for Grace, I think, this one, Will.
Yeah, she played Georgia in individuals, I believe, just a couple of months back. I think that was Grace. I think she lost to her there in 3, maybe 4.
3 or 4 games. I think it's going to be a high quality match, that's for sure. Both of these girls, top players, really.
Yeah, George starting to make some waves on the pro circuit, I think, coming through. She's British junior national champion, winning that back in November, so it's a tall order, I think, for Grace, but it'll be nice to see her get her teeth into it a bit.
She is. There's a PSA close set up in Edinburgh the weekend after this one. Both of these girls are playing, actually, Grace and Georgia. Georgia the 1 seed for that event. Be interesting to see how she gets on. Grace's mum's come up, or come down, should I say, from Yorkshire to support her today in the crowd.
Yeah, Georgia up at 96 in the world.
96 in the world. Just hearing from our sources that Josie's gone 2 love down.
Let's hope for a big Nottingham comeback then.
That's what we need. I think she beat Catriona Allen in 5 games in league last time they played.
It's definitely possible then. We might be seeing her making a big comeback, and then could be all in Grace.
So we know both these girls from the junior circuit well. Georgia, a really electric mover, a powerhouse in the girls' game, I'd say.
We might see a few dives, actually. Georgia is known to throw out a few big dives a match, especially if it gets tough, so...
Her style is very exciting to watch, her movement. So, about Grace, well, what do you think Grace's strengths are on the court? What weapons is she going to use to take down Georgia today, or try to? What's she got in her arsenal?
I think physically, obviously, Georgia has the advantage, so Grace really has to try and nullify that physical advantage from Georgia. I actually think Grace is possibly the stronger racket player in terms of skill set, so try and use that, lift the ball. Georgia likes to hit hard and low and often, really pushing her into the back, so see some height used by Grace and then taking a shot when the opportunity comes up. Just good smart squash, I think, is the way to win this one.
I agree. She just needs to take a bit of time away from Georgia, take the pace out of the game, make her generate it all herself.
Yeah, I think it's the only hope, really. I don't think there's many girls outside, possibly a few Egyptians, that can really challenge Georgia for physicality at 19 years of age, so gonna have to see Grace play some clever squash if she wants to come through this one.
Yeah. So those of you who've been tuned in from the start, behind Grace in the left-hand back corner, you can see our co-commentators Oran Imler on the right eating his lunch, and Nick Harbert taking their break and chowing down on some sandwiches by the looks of it. Wonder who's going to be refereeing this one.
It's a very long warm-up, isn't it? They could do with a ref there to speed things along a bit. Usually the squash warm-up is only 2.5 minutes each side, so
It's definitely been longer than that so far.
I think we've been here a good 7 minutes so far at least.
Yeah. So Grace in her first year, like we said, a lot of freshers in our girls' first team. She's studying geography at the moment. Georgia, I think it's also her first year up in Edinburgh.
I believe so. I think Georgia's just turned 19 in the last couple of months, so first, possibly second year actually. The Scots go a year early, I think.
Yeah. Both of these girls actually get to play a little bit of PSL, Professional Squash League, Premier Squash League.
Yeah, they've both had a few outings, haven't they?
For Nottingham and Edinburgh respectively, or Georgia for Alba Storm, I think the Scottish team is known by. So Rich O'Connor you can now see there, sat on Noran's right, just going to go talk to Grace.
I found it quite interesting that Edinburgh don't seem to have actually brought a coach. I've been seeing the girls coaching each other between games.
Have they not?
I've seen in one of the early matches on the glass, I saw Georgia coaching Catherine in between every game instead of a coach. So.
Now you mention it, I think, is it Paul Bell?
I believe it is Paul Bell.
Paul Bell is the coach at the University of Edinburgh, also the Scottish national coach. He used to coach out of Carlisle in Cumbria in the northwest and moved to Scotland to become their national coach.
It's quite a while ago that he moved, maybe 4 or 5 years now.
I think it might be even a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, he's been based there quite a long time.
But yeah, I don't think I've seen him around the complex today either, here at David Ross Sports Village.
No, I was quite surprised. I mean, he came down for the PSL, so I was thinking he might turn up for the semi-finals of BUCS, but evidently he must be busy. Okay. Luis Tavares there as well, sitting down. Fresh trim for him.
Anna Hooper sitting down to referee this game. The girls have kicked off here. Georgia starting us off.
Already pretty evident from the last couple of matches we've seen in the glass that this is a lot higher pace. I think you can see.
Yeah, for sure. Some real power hitting there from Georgia to start off.
That's going to be the trend of the match, I think. We're going to see Georgia pushing up to take the volleys and really power it through.
She does have a tendency when she hits hard though to hit loose, and you can really expose yourself on this glass court if you're not careful.
Yeah, I think that's what Grace needs when Georgia's on and playing well, weather the storm, and then look to defend, and then as soon as Georgia hits a loose one, take it in short. You know, the glass court's super severe. It takes a short ball really well, takes the boast beautifully.
Yeah, we've seen that in both of the games so far. Just like that, there you go, right on cue. That was down from Grace.
Honest, the opposite of commentator's curse on that one.
Well, I've cursed Grace. She's got a ripper of the boast put into her. Dubious pickup maybe there from Georgia, but well finished from Grace anyway.
It's kind of good squash that Grace needs to play. Put in a good drop, let Georgia scrape it back, and then finish it on the next ball.
There you go, just like you said. It's good here. Grace has responded. Georgia took the first 3 points in this game, started to pull away. She's making her presence known on the court, coming back.
Yeah, I think Grace can do really well to stay with her and towards the late stages. Georgia does get a bit rattled, I think.
She can get quite unsettled, I'd agree with that for sure.
You know, a couple of referee decisions, she gets involved, gets a bit unsettled, she hits a few pins, so.
Right on cue. That's the loose ball we were talking about there. Grace just on the tee. Maybe could have done a little bit better with it, but Georgia making the error.
She needed an extra couple of miles an hour on that shot to get it onto the front wall, just clipping the top of the tin.
Just very close.
Now, I don't think Grace has quite as much of a home court advantage here as our other two girls did. Georgia's played on this glass court quite a lot of times. Between British nationals have been held here the past few years, Georgia consistently making the final, and also in PSL, so it's not like it's a fresh court for Georgia. She's quite experienced on this one.
She is, yeah. Simple that ball there. Grace doing really well to hang on in this rally. Closed out well by Georgia though.
Moving to 6-4, Georgia just managed to stay just out of touch from Grace.
Yeah, she's a big confidence player, is Georgia. Would have been ideal for Grace to capitalise on those. Just clipping the tin again. Capitalise on those errors Georgia made a few points ago.
Yeah, you don't want to let it get a tail up and get a bit of a run going. It can very quickly get away from you, the game, I think, when you get Georgia.
No colour clash in this one.
No, quite nice to see. A bit easier for everyone watching to distinguish who's who if you're not familiar with them.
Absolutely. Grace in the UOM green and gold.
See, Georgia really starting to stamp her authority on this game. Grace, it pushed far back in the court, barely making it past the back of the service box before Georgia's walking onto the next ball and pushing up deep again.
Yeah. That little bit of hold as well, just making Grace step in front of her to cover the short ball and then pushing her back again.
Yeah, it's a subtle way to really make your opponent do extra work. That stop-start on the tee does eat into the legs after a while.
Exactly, those few extra steps every single shot really add up over the course of a game and a match. That's a beautiful line. Can she capitalise?
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Just run the ball in really tight down the side wall.
Such an underrated shot in squash. I think everyone thinks about going dead low for the tin and just trying to roll the ball just an inch above the tin, but
exactly.
If you put it a couple of inches higher and roll it on the sidewall, again, completely exacerbated by the fact that the glass court is very sticky sidewalls. It's going to be very hard for your opponent to get it off.
Super effective on her. 4-point lead here for Georgia at the end of this game.
I think this one might be a little far away from Grace. I think she's going to struggle to claw this one back, if I'm being honest. She's got to try and get close with Georgia at the start and don't let her be confident towards the end of the game.
I'd agree with that. There's an error. This is where Grace really needs to push.
She needs to capitalise on that error. Georgia went short far too early, I feel, in that rally. It was a bad shot to try and play that shot. Bad position, sorry, to try and play that shot from, so.
Forcing the rally instead of being a little bit more patient.
Game ball for Edinburgh here.
4 game balls.
I can hear a lot of noise coming from down the plastic court, so you have to wonder if Josie's possibly making a bit of a comeback. What's the decision
Lots
here?
of cheering. George is saying she just wants to let ball. Just a bit of safety. She wasn't really sure where Grace was. Very fortunate for Grace.
I'd have called a stroke, I think, if I was the ref there. You know, in squash, you're within your rights to hit the ball wherever you want on its bounce. You are allowed to step back to take it later, so Grace was in the swing.
No let given there.
See, I don't agree with that one either.
She's gone the wrong way, Grace. She's still on court. She's arguing it.
I think she could have got it back there. Oh dear.
They've played a let ball. Georgia was already off. She was off to her corner.
I hope they only just called a let there, since in some ways it's even worse as a referee to make a decision, and if a player argues, you can't go back on it.
Absolutely.
Georgia closing it out though, confidently there, just
powerful finish, wasn't it?
Big cross court.
So the first game here, going to Georgia, Adley and Edinburgh.
Yeah, 11-6, relatively comfortable I'd say as well. Grace looking a little off the pace currently.
Yeah, I'd say so. You'll know when Georgia's under pressure. We haven't seen any of the movement she's well known for on the squash tour.
No, I would like to see a dive.
The dives, the splits. She's a quick player. We've got Aura Nimler heading over to court 6, hopefully going to let us know how Josie Barker's getting on. Really need her to pull a result out of the bag and keep the girls' finals hopes alive. A little bit of current affairs. We're seeing the first effects of the coronavirus on the squash tour.
We are, indeed. I saw this on Facebook earlier.
A closed satellite pro event over in York in 2 weekends' time. On the 27th of this month, I think. It's been postponed due to the coronavirus and travel bans implemented in countries where we've got players travelling from, etc.
Yeah, me and you were both going to be making a show in there, but we're going to have to wait for that, I think.
Yeah, I think it will go ahead, but maybe in summer.
Well, we have just received news from Oran that Josie has got a game back and she's currently 2-1 down, so
that was a long game.
Maybe starting to see the start of a comeback for Nottingham.
A really long game, putting some work into Catriona hopefully there. Positive start here from Georgia. Taking the ball in well. A big contrast to Anna's game just before this. I don't know if you managed to see any of that, Will.
Yeah, I was just in the back stands watching. I managed to catch most of that one. I actually found it very entertaining.
I know you love a good Fast and Furious rally.
Both girls absolutely fearless in that one, taking the ball in short from everywhere, really.
A lot of winners, but also a lot of errors. But quite a stark contrast to this game. These girls playing a lot more tight, patient squash, resulting in some lengthier rallies.
Yeah, Georgia just overcooking that one just by a couple of inches and skiting that lob just above the outer court line.
Ball's quite far behind Grace there, maybe a little bit of a desperation act. Well, I think she was on it actually, seeing that replay.
She's been given a no let. I'm not sure I agree with that one.
I think it's just to let ball. Grace was after the stroke. Oh no, it was a no let. That's
It's an interesting decision, to be honest. I think it was an adequate safety let. She had the racket behind the ball. She could have flicked it towards the front wall, so...
She definitely could have. I think the thinking maybe from the referees on this one, Will, why it's a let and not a stroke. So the ball is a little bit behind Grace, and George's...
No, she got no let.
She's cleared very quickly. So I think what the referees are thinking there is Grace can only either play straight or boast, and for those two scenarios, Georgia was clear, so they want her to play that ball.
Georgia's starting to race away a bit there, 6-2.
4-point lead now.
Once she got that first game under her belt, she was going to gain in confidence with that win and then push on, wasn't she?
Exactly. She's really not afraid at all to just take the ball in short now. She's working Grace from the back to the front.
Might be a bit of a cliche that Joey and PJ use, but I feel like Grace really did need to win the first game in this match.
Absolutely. And there's a big difference between going 2-love down and 1-all, Will, and it looks like...
Massive difference, psychologically as well as physically. It's a physical mountain to climb, but psychologically it's a long way back also, isn't it?
Yeah, Grace hitting the tin there, going for a cheap winner off the serve, I feel.
Yeah, this game's rapidly run away with her, and she's
already lost it in her head when you're going for shots that desperate.
Just a little bit of contact there. I'm guessing that they're going to give a yes let.
Just a traffic issue through the middle, I think. They've collided hips.
Not much of a bump, though. I could see some refs giving a no let on that one, actually.
I'm not sure. You can see the way Georgia stutters. It's really knocked her off balance quite significantly, I feel. A yes let being the right decision for me.
Grace Sky not out of court anyway. The frustration's starting to come out. You can see her fling a racket.
It's not 3-8, it's 9-2.
Would take 3-8 there, wouldn't we?
We would. That one not hitting the tin though.
Bit of a desperate last-minute push, I feel, but
any work that she can put into Georgia's legs will be welcome.
yeah, even when you're down in this kind of situation, it's really important not to let your opponent gain momentum. Even if they win the game, if you've won the last 6 points before they win one, you're going into the next game with the momentum in your favour, really. And it might just stop them running away with the next one as well.
Yeah, you're more likely to get a good start. I'd completely agree with that.
You should never just give up, no matter what score it's at. 11-4.
It's gone. I was about to say 6 game balls, but it's already raced away from Grace there very quickly.
It's looking like a super tall order.
It is. Going to an ad, I think. Back here for the start of the third game. Confirmation in from court 6 that Josie's gone down in 4 games. She's lost 3-1.
So unfortunately this match is now dead rubber, as Nottingham have lost, as they've lost 3 out of the 5 matches against Edinburgh. But I don't think Grace knows, and even if she did, it wouldn't matter. It's about personal performance at anything, isn't it? So
exactly. It'd be great to see her claw this one back. I think that's going to be a stroke.
Yeah, she had no swing there, right decision.
Probably a no-let for me, that as well.
Yeah, it was for me. Should have gone round for that one. Grace really looking like she's been broken down by the pace of Georgia. She's really struggling to print any of her own game onto this match whatsoever.
She is, and even there, she's got Georgia at full stretch here, and she's just flicked her racket onto it and got it just above the tin. Everything seems to be going her way, but not taking anything away from Georgia. She's playing really good squash here today. It's going to have to be a stroke, yeah. Frustration there from Grace evident. Not happy with the decisions, but what she's really not happy with is herself, playing the shots to put herself in those situations.
Big Tim from Georgia. We could have possibly been on the way to see a bagel, I thought, but it's not going to happen.
She was kneading the dough. The breadstick's still on though. That's severe. I think that pickup could have been down from Grace.
Didn't really matter though, Georgia charging onto it and smashing it cross court. It's looking like a bit of a foregone conclusion at this point.
Unfortunately it would seem that way. The girls have put up a really good fight today. But Edinburgh just a little bit too strong.
Yeah, came up against some really strong opponents. Wouldn't be surprised to see Edinburgh take the BUCS Championship Cup for the girls in the final either, would it?
Not at all.
Great depth of the team. I think their strengths really lie at, well, obviously Georgia is an amazing one, but especially lower in the order, you saw the depth that their team possess as well. No, lots of unis just don't have 5 really strong players to put out.
No, they're certainly not lacking in depth. (9-1) here for Georgia.
2-9, I think. Wasn't Grace just serving?
It might be.
See the speed of Georgia there. Absolutely electric into the front to pick up that drop. Going round Grace as well.
Yeah, determined not to let that rally go even with such a lead.
Grace just shanking one off the half volley there, just trickling above the tin.
Take every point she can get, I think, at this stage.
Yeah, just nice to get a few more points on the scoreboard. Beautiful volley drop though.
Absolutely. Very loose from Georgia there. She's maybe seen the finish line a little bit early, lost a bit of focus here.
Yeah, she didn't look too happy with Grace's movement on that one either. But
there has been a few traffic issues through the middle of the court.
Doesn't really matter how you move if you're putting the ball in the nick, does it?
And again, 5-9 now. Back to within 4 points. She's closed down half of the deficit. Georgia's still looking very relaxed though. Went for an inside out on that volley.
Beautiful shot. Twisted the shoulders here just to show that she was probably going cross court, made Grace move for it and then
pushed it straight.
Rolled them over and flashed the ball straight down the line.
Grace just hitting the tin there.
That's another match to Edinburgh, so Edinburgh beat Nottingham girls 4 matches to 1. Unlucky for the girls, but with such a young team, I'm sure they'll come back better and hungrier next year. And
absolutely, they've played really well, given a really good account of themselves this year. Exciting for the future, that's for sure. So I think the time now is almost 3:30. The boys are going to be getting on court from 4 o'clock onwards, I believe. So make sure you tune back in for that. 10 to 4, I've just been told. Tune back in for 10 to 4.
We'll see you then.